and I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep, and they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them, and they happened to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens, and they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time, and the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call.
Melissa Scott's trail cameras might contain clues about the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan.
So it turns out a neighbor of Lilly and Jack Sullivan has 7 trail cameras, which were set up at the time when Lilly and Jack went missing. Now, the neighbor's name is Melissa Scott, and she's provided footage from April 27th, which is 5 days before Lilly and Jack were reported missing. Now, this can show a lot of information of what was going on in that area, as far as vehicles coming in and out, people who maybe were passing by, either on foot and or people who are sneaking around, whether that's family, whoever it might be. This woman has 7 cameras. Now, hopefully this is going to be helpful. Let's have a listen.
It's scary, especially not knowing what happens. We definitely keep our kids a little closer to home now.
The 4- and 6-year-olds were reported missing from this home on May 2nd, launching a massive search of the woods surrounding the home. No trace has been found, and RCMP haven't ruled out the case is suspicious. This is some of the footage Scott gave police. She says RCMP major crimes officers came to her home this week, asking for everything on her 7 cameras, starting April 27th, 5 days before the kids were reported missing. 2 of Scott's neighbors were also asked to provide footage to RCMP. She says the officers also asked about her family's vehicles to rule out local traffic in the footage.
Possibly they are wondering if they didn't go missing earlier, or maybe somebody who isn't local to the area was around beforehand.
Straight through the woods, it's about 5 kilometers.
I did mention to them that I was very happy to see them and glad that they were canvassing a little further and looking at trail cam footage, and they did respond saying that they probably should have been around earlier.
Well, it's really good that they do have these trail cameras, but it is quite a distance. We find out that according to this newscaster, it's actually 5.24 kilometers measuring directly through the woods, which is, not following the roads. And that would be 3.25 miles of distance. So it's quite a ways, it's pretty far. This is not a neighbor who is, let's say, a couple doors down. This is pretty far away. You probably agree. But there is the chance that maybe they might have seen someone coming and going, and they are accounting for all the vehicles which have passed by those trail cameras.
We jumped in the vehicle, surveyed all the areas, many dirt roads, many culverts as I could, and waited for the police to get there.
As soon as I seen they were missing, I jumped right in the vehicle, and I did every dirt road and searched every culvert. The very first day I wasn't around very much because I was just searching. I was running through the woods, screaming their name till my throat hurt.
They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off.
So I don't know what the chances are of them possibly finding something that is going to be useful but it is a good thing that they are looking at these 7 trail cameras and definitely finding out if in fact anything can be corroborated as far as the story that was told. Is it possible that they can corroborate, let's say, a vehicle of one of the parents coming and going? If they can corroborate that in fact, let's say when they did arrive home, possibly the family did pass by one of those cameras and we can see that either the stepfather or the mother did go by.
And I did every dirt road and searched every culvert. The very first day I wasn't around very much because I was just searching. I was running through the woods, screaming their name till my throat hurt.
Also, when is the last time that the kids were actually seen? We know that the kids were in fact dropped off by the bus driver. That was days before they were reported missing because the kids actually stayed home. There was a holiday, and then the next day after the holiday, they reported that Lilly was sick. So that was another day where they weren't seen by anyone.
They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now. But we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued, not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school, and they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful, but there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds. And I don't want to go through that another night without them.
And so that is when things get kind of suspicious, because there's no one to back up the story of the parents, that in fact the kids were still well, that they were still there. But one of the things that I noticed, the stepdad said that they would go with anyone. And so that has me wondering if possibly they were giving these kids to other friends to take care of them while they were taking care of the baby.
Lilly and Jack are awesome kids, very, very kind. They'll talk to anyone. They want to go with anyone. They're just looking to have as much fun as they can. Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, and anything like that. But Lilly loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like best friends, not just brother and sister. You know, they took their boots. That's pink boots for Lilly, blue boots for Jack, with dinosaurs on them. Lilly had her backpack with white, and it was white with strawberries on it. I imagine now if they're in the woods, that'd be probably brown, but I don't see them carrying their backpack. I don't see them keeping a pull-up one for that long after it got soaked from the very first day. We only found the 2 boot tracks outside of the house.
Whereabouts?
Right beside the house, probably 10 feet away from the backyard.
In the backyard, okay.
Nothing new, other than the helicopters are still in the air, and they had dogs. They took around the dogs today, and as of last night, they had 8 more drones going on with infrared. I urge the public to come out if you have anything, come out as fast as possible and get it to any detachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to. And Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, anything like that. But Lilly loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like best friends, not just brother and sister. Lilly and Jack are awesome kids, very, very kind. They'll talk to anyone. They want to go with anyone. They're just looking to have as much fun as they can.
If this was something that was happening often, it was kind of something they would do as a routine. Maybe they had friends who would, let's say, take care of Lilly and Jack for a while. And it kind of implies that because he said they would go with anyone. So they already know that the kids are fine with that. So is it possible that the kids did go with someone they know, or that they were given to go with someone? Or is that something that's just being put out in order to open up that possibility? So let me know what you all think now that we find out there are 7 trail cameras. It has been almost 3 weeks now that Lilly and Jack have been missing. That is a long time, and the weather has been actually record-breaking cold for May in Canada this year. So it has been very cold and very wet. So if they are out there, any chance that they were, let's say, lost in the woods? And this reminds me of the story of Hansel and Gretel, who go off into the woods. But I don't know if that in fact is what happened here with these two. But yes, it has been very cold, and there has been a lot of rain in this area.
They hate being wet and cold, so they immediately would have came right back into the house. The only 2 prints are right beside the house facing the road, and then that's it.
Another interesting thing that's happened is that the parents very quickly turned on each other, and they have now separated. They're not together. So the mother took off, she left, and I believe that she's living with her parents with the baby.
The children's stepfather told CBC that after the disappearance, the children's mother left the area to be with her family in another part of the province and blocked him on social media.
My mother had to kick some people off the property because they were saying that I did it. I had something to do with it. And I'm the only one here fighting for them, which is sad.
And so that also is quite odd. Obviously, there's some kind of turmoil. Either that's spilling over from the disappearance, or that is turmoil that was going on while the kids were still there. But unfortunately, and there's no news as far as, let's say, information as to when they were last seen, if there's a spotting, if they found some clothing, if they found something that would indicate that they were, let's say, set up in a location there. I did notice that in the backyard, they actually have a fort set up, a little area with some branches, and I guess that they would play there. But there was no trail of them there in that spot. Another thing that is very odd is the verbiage of the stepfather and the mother when they say that the kids were outside playing. But who saw them playing outside? They didn't see them playing outside because they were in another room, I suppose, sleeping in bed, kind of in and out, falling asleep and awake. And that is the story that they tell. So we really don't know what's going on here, but in fact, there has been quite a large search. They had many, many people out there searching. They used technology which would show any body heat from the air. They can see what's going on in the woods, so that if Lilly and Jack had been there lost, there's a good chance that they would have shown up on that heat system, which can track, let's say, animals. I have seen another case where a boy was found in the woods. I forget which province it was, if it was Alberta, but there was a boy that had been lost. He'd wandered off into the woods, and they did find him. I believe it was after a day or two, maybe a day, and they found him with that technology where they can actually see that there's someone there just from the body heat. They look down, and the system can differentiate from, let's say, the woods and the ground and a human, which will show up as a bright white spot, and it'll be moving as well. So this is a very sad case, and it's odd to see that there's actually 2 kids that go missing. This reminds me of another case that we had followed, the Oren and Orson case. And unfortunately, these 2 boys didn't make it. It was the 2 step-parents that had taken them in. And unfortunately, that came to a very sad ending. But I hope that these 2 kids can be found. They're very cute. Lilly is very beautiful, and Jack is a very cute boy. They're adorable kids. And it's very sad to see that they're lost.
Volunteers, about 160 people were on the ground yesterday. There were dogs brought in to try to catch a scent of these 2 children. There were 8 drone units in the skies searching, as well as a couple of helicopters as well, each one of them equipped with infrared sensors and cameras looking for these children.
We covered everywhere possible. Even in the first day, we did. Even with me running through the woods, I was ahead of the helicopters and ahead of the drones and stuff like that. Screaming as loud as I can, until my throat hurt. Running through water that was up to my waist. And as soon as I got back, I wasn't allowed back in the woods until a man dressed in a military outfit said I could go back into the woods. No idea. I had no idea. I'm still searching every day. I'm waiting for information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the aircrafts and everything else, and dogs and searchers. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be coordinated, and I can't just go running through the woods. I want to, but I just can't right now because the search is just so far out.
Their stepfather, Daniel Martel, spends every evening conducting his own search.
As soon as I seen they were missing, I jumped right in the vehicle, and I did every dirt road and searched every culvert.
The children are thought to have wandered away from their home in Lansdowne Station on Friday morning. Martel believes they were only gone for about 20 minutes before he and their mother noticed they were missing.
The very first day I wasn't around very much because I was just searching. I was running through the woods, screaming their name till my throat hurt.
Martel says the only concrete clue so far is a boot print found near the backyard of the property.
I'm absolutely exhausted at this point after going through 6 days of virtual hell. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm just fighting for Lilly and Jack.
The last of RCMP in the area that I've seen, they were at Lansdowne Lake, and they told me that they scoured the lake, divers, and sonared the lake, and there's no evidence at all. If they were in this area, would have found them. My family's still searching.
So I hope there will be good news, but things look very odd to me at this point. Now, leave me your comments. Let me know what you've heard, and just fill me in. Leave any questions you have, and we can discuss this further. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe and join me again next time. Bye for now.
He said he willingly handed over his phone to police, and investigators searched the home. Martel said he also asked for a polygraph test.
I just want to clear it up for everyone. Clear it up for everyone, not just the people online making crazy accusations and everything else.
And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep, and they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them, and they happened to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens, and they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time, and the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call.